Hi, meteorologist Tony Pachaka alongside meteorologist Pete Mangione. The high wind advisory remains in effect. Of course, a blustery day. Take a look, Pete, and that continues for a while longer.
Yeah, it does. We did see some earlier reports of gusts up to around 50 miles an hour and some reports of isolated wind damage. I believe I saw one from Providence and another one from, I think, East Greenwich, of trees coming down and things like that.
I saw one Coventry, Rehoboth, so it's out there, some tree damage, but it's pretty sporadic.
Yes, absolutely. And, of course, then the attention shifts to this weekend. No pressure, man. No pressure.
Some snow. Hey, speaking of snow, check out Pete's Twitter site. You just kind of tweeted out some interesting numbers about the winter so far, and then based on like the last 5 years, what the second half of the winter can sometimes hold. So, the theme of your tweet and some good numbers there is that, winter's really not over yet.
Absolutely, and it seems like especially lately, I mean, we still get a lot of our snow sometimes in February, March, and even into early April. So a lot of winter yet to come.
All right, thanks, Pete.
Yep,
In the
no
meantime, let's take a look at some gusty wind. As Pete had mentioned, we're still gusting, around 50 miles per hour, so a windy evening. The other big weather story here is we're going to turn sharply colder later tonight and into Friday. Those temperatures are really going to drop off. So late tonight through daybreak on Friday, we're talking about wind chills. It'll be near zero. I mean, we had 70-degree warmth this past Sunday, and now we're talking wind chills near zero. As Peter alluded to, a Saturday storm. Now, this is not the end-all, be-all of snowstorms. In fact, the amounts are pretty small, but we think, considering we haven't seen much winter in the last couple of weeks, this is somewhat significant for Saturday evening, Saturday night. It's mostly snow. There'll be a brief switch to rain, especially along the coastline, some small accumulations, and we'll get to those numbers in just a second, and much colder weather. Now, later tonight into Friday night, Saturday morning, may get a little bit of a lull. On Sunday, then, we turn much colder again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. All right, so here's the Saturday timeline. Actually, Saturday morning is fine. A little fading sun through increasing clouds, very cold at daybreak, and it does start off dry. Early afternoon Saturday is fine. We're thinking the snow starting between roughly 4 and 6 o'clock in the evening. And certainly in the beginning, it's plenty cold to support mainly snow. And I think at least 2/3 of this system will be in the form of snow. The other third, some brief rain along the coastline. It's a quick mover, and it's one reason why we're not expecting excessive amounts of snow. And then later Saturday night, that snow-rain mixed will end around midnight with improving weather late Saturday night. And your Sunday looks fine. The early call on this really hasn't changed. A general 1 to 3 inch snowfall before the switch or the mix to rain. And it's one of those deals where the best chance for 1 inch amounts would be right near the shoreline. The best chance for any 2 to 3 inch amounts would be further inland across northern suburbs. So kind of slushy and sloppy Saturday evening and into Saturday night. All right, here's the latest satellite radar composite. Now we're taping this as of almost about 3:45, almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're still getting little spits of some sprinkles and flurries dropping down from the Berkshires and upstate New York. So we'll keep this in the forecast for the early evening. This is just kind of more curiosity than anything else. Just a few flurries this evening. The bulk of the activity is clearly in upstate New York. And this is what we're looking at. A system, one cold front has gone offshore, and that was the one that gave us the showers overnight early this morning. And it's brought in some cooler air. But it's cold front number 2 back in upstate New York. That means business as far as really knocking down the temperature later tonight and into Friday. And as that front draws closer, we could see a couple of flurries this evening. But I think if you're heading out, precipitation-wise, there's no really big weather issues here. And here's the wider view showing, well, for one, a lot of moisture coming up from the deep south in Texas. So our next weather player, really 2 pieces that we're watching, one coming across the Pacific Northwest and then this moisture across the deep south. Both will merge, work in tandem, and then bring our next system here by Saturday evening and Saturday night. And notice, temperatures have cooled off quite a bit, but the core of the real cold air, and it just sticks out, this purple right in here, Northern Plains, Upper Great Lakes. This is headed our way for late tonight, especially Friday night into at least Saturday morning. Now, we're not forecasting -2 like Bismarck, but it will turn much colder. And with the gusty winds lingering, wind chills will be a factor. So let's walk you through now through tomorrow. And here we are at 7 o'clock in the evening. Windy, turning colder. I wouldn't rule out a flurry here and there, but essentially dry. This is Friday morning, 8 a.m. These are the actual air temperatures. That's it. 14, 15, 16 degrees. Sunshine, windy, frigid. Ineffective sun all day long. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The best we can do is about 25, 26 degrees. The wind not as strong, but still kind of blustery and frigid. Your Friday evening, Friday night is very cold but dry. Back into the teens later Friday night. All right, so forecast for tonight. Where is it? Here we go. Looking at, maybe a few flurries early this evening. Windy, frigid. 11 o'clock, 28 degrees, but the wind chill is really dropping down. So here we are on Friday morning. Sunny, windy, frigid. High temperature around 20, but at the bus stop, cover everything up here. Hat, glove, scarf, the whole works here. Wind chills near zero. Here are some of the wind chill values, like 7 a.m. Friday, on either side of zero, with clear skies and still some windy conditions. And then Friday afternoon, sunny, windy, cold, not much higher than the mid and upper 20s. Northwest winds 15 to 25, but at times going to be gusting around 30, 35. So the wind chills are going to be in the single digits and teens, even during the daytime hours as well. So some big changes next several days. A lot colder late tonight into Friday. High wind advisory continues until 1 a.m. Friday, so very windy this evening. Bitter cold on Friday. As Pete and I were alluding to, that some snow Saturday evening, Saturday night, a brief switch to rain, but mostly snow. And the early call is nothing huge, but a general 1 to 3 inches, not as much near the coast, smidge more the further north and west you go of Providence, and then a dry, windy, and cooler Sunday. And pretty cold next week, too. All right, that's your latest Weather Now update. Thanks for logging in. We'll talk to you soon.